Welcome to Hey Gen Podcast. Today we're diving into the fascinating world of Mormonism, officially
Yeah,
known as the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. Let's dive in.
I'm really excited about this topic. So, where did it all begin?
Well, it all started in the early 19th century with Joseph Smith, who reported
Mm-hmm.
experiencing divine visions beginning in 1820.
Divine visions? That's fascinating. Can you tell us more about that?
Absolutely. So, Joseph Smith claimed that he was visited by God the Father and Jesus Christ, who instructed him
Wow,
to restore the original church.
that's quite an experience. How did that lead to the formation of the church?
Well, in 1830, he translated and published the Book of Mormon,
Right.
which followers consider another testament of Jesus Christ.
So, the Book of Mormon is central to their faith?
Yes, exactly. And on April 6, 1830, Joseph Smith formally organized the church in Fayette, New York, with a small group of
I
followers.
see. Interesting. What are the core beliefs of the LDS Church?
They adhere to fundamental beliefs outlined in the Articles of Faith, which
Mm-hmm.
Joseph Smith penned in 1842.
The Articles of Faith. Can you give us some highlights?
Sure, one key belief is in the Godhead: God the Father, His Son Jesus Christ, and the Holy Ghost as three distinct personages united in
Right.
purpose rather than the traditional Trinity concept.
So, they don't believe in the Trinity as most Christians do?
Exactly, they see the Godhead as united but separate beings, which is a
Okay.
distinctive belief in their theology.
That's quite different. What about their scriptures?
In addition to the Bible, they consider the Book of Mormon, the Doctrine and Covenants, and the Pearl of Great Price as canonical scriptures, providing
I
further
see.
teachings and revelations.
Additional scriptures? That's unique. Do they believe in modern revelation?
Yes, they believe that God continues to reveal his will through living prophets and apostles, meaning their
Right.
doctrine can evolve over time.
That's interesting. So, how do these beliefs influence their practices?
Well, their worship practices are quite distinctive. For example, temple worship is very
Mm-hmm.
important, where they participate in sacred ordinances like eternal marriage and proxy baptisms for deceased ancestors.
Proxy baptisms? Can you explain that?
Sure, it's the practice of baptizing living members on behalf of those who have passed
Oh,
away, so the deceased can accept the gospel in the afterlife if they choose.
that's a unique concept. What about missionary work?
Missionary work is a big part of their faith. Many young members serve voluntary missions worldwide, sharing their faith
Right.
and engaging in community service.
I've definitely seen missionaries around. They seem very dedicated.
Absolutely. Their dedication is impressive. They also place a strong emphasis on community and family life,
Mm-hmm.
encouraging regular church attendance and moral living.
Speaking of moral living, don't they have specific health guidelines?
Yes, they follow the word of wisdom, which
Right.
advises against the consumption of alcohol, tobacco, and even certain beverages like coffee and tea.
No coffee or tea? That's tough.
Haha, yeah, it's a commitment. But it's all part of their belief in keeping the body healthy as a temple for the spirit.
I get it. Makes sense. So, what distinguishes the LDS Church from other Christian denominations?
Well, they believe they're the restoration of the original church established by Jesus Christ, led
Oh,
by modern prophets who received direct revelation from God.
that's a significant claim. How do other Christian denominations view that?
It's a point of contention. Some denominations don't accept the additional scriptures or the prophetic leadership,
Right.
but the LDS Church sees it as a restoration, not a departure.
I see. So, their emphasis on continuous revelation really sets them apart.
Exactly. They believe that God is still communicating with humanity, which shapes their
Mm-hmm.
doctrines and practices.
That's compelling. But do you think claiming modern prophets could be seen as controversial?
It can be, yes, some people are skeptical of modern prophets, but for
Right.
members, it's a source of guidance and comfort.
Makes sense. So, in summary, what defines Mormonism?
Well, it's a faith with a rich history of prophetic leadership, additional sacred texts, and a strong emphasis on community and family, all
Yeah.
centered on living their beliefs actively.
It's certainly a unique perspective within Christianity.
Definitely, their members strive to live their faith through dedicated worship, missionary efforts, and adherence to teachings they believe are revealed by God, which makes their
Exactly.
community vibrant and close knit.
Thanks for shedding light on this. I've learned a lot today.
Glad to hear that. It's always exciting to explore different traditions and understand
Mm-hmm.
what makes them unique.
Absolutely. Any final thoughts?
Just that understanding leads to respect, and I hope our
Right.
listeners found this insightful.
I'm sure they did.
Thank you all for joining us today. If you enjoyed this discussion, please like, subscribe, and share it with others so we can
Yeah.
continue bringing you more informative content. See you next time.
See you next time.